All right, cool. What's up, y'all? So back on another episode. Today I have a amazing person coming to the stage who's going to be breaking down really her process, her strategy. I had This is my first time meeting her, but I see her on the leaderboards crushing it, doing her thing. So we're gonna hop right into it. But Lucia, thank you for hopping on today.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Of course, of course. All
Yeah.
right. So first and foremost, I always got to ask, how did you get into the life insurance space? Take us back a little bit.
Yeah, so I guess for me, I started in 2021. I started with phone call sales, specifically with Lincoln Heritage. I don't know if that matters, but it was virtual sales. And my first time ever, I did really well, but I stopped because I became a mommy and I didn't have a babysitter. Anyways, fast forward till now, I actually have like a babysitter. So now it's like I'm able to actually spend time, right, as an insurance agent. So yeah, did I?
Yeah, no,
Did I answer your
you're
question?
yeah, no, you're good. You're good. Now, my question always is like, how was your first 30 days in general? Just like I'm talking about, did you crush it, come out the gate crushing it? Did you get your teeth kicked in a little bit? Like, tell us a little bit about your first 30 days in insurance ever. How was it?
Well, in 2021, it was me by myself. Like I didn't really have any kind of like anyone to help me. I mean, I had my director, but he would just it was during COVID. So it was like new for everyone, you know. So it was just kind of like we were just learning as we go. It was no script that we followed, nothing like that. But that's why I just feel really blessed right now to be with the agency that I'm in because we have the scripts, I have the people to help me. We have the like live on call like Zoom that we have. So yeah, I mean it's pretty it's cool.
Yeah. Do you feel like as an agent, that's vital is to like have a community or have a like an agency like yourself that you were mentioning that provides you that structure, or do you think that agents should kind of have to like go through it on their own? What have you kind of seen?
I think the main thing is your mindset and like knowing who you are. Like I'm very much a lover of Jesus and my
Mhm.
identity is in the Lord. So it's like with everything that I do, it's just me understanding that that's where I come from. Like I sit in heavenly places, like I'm here and I'm here to be a solution for my people. So whenever someone like asks me about how do you do so good, it's really like it's me just resting in the Lord. I'm not even gonna lie. Like
Yeah.
that's my mindset. That's how I walk in every day, like as a mama, as a business owner. So, like
Yeah.
yeah.
No, I like that. We're gonna get into sales, but I feel like I kind of already can tell you so, and it's starting to click immediately.
I'm
But I got
very like, I don't know, personable. I
yeah,
like to just talk to my people. Like
I
they're
can tell
actually
you.
family. So
Yeah, you build a lot of trust with them. Yeah, we're
yeah.
gonna, we're gonna get there. I can already tell. Okay, dope. So walk me through like that transition from like you were in a situation where you maybe didn't have a lot of structure, like you started, and then like how did you get to this, the new agency? You don't have to name an agency or anything like that, but I'm just saying like walk us through how you got there and then what was that first 30 days like in comparison to when you first got into the industry?
So before I got to this new agency, I got back into the insurance industry with a different, I guess, IMO. Their main thing is recruiting. And I didn't really understand that. It was like, it was my first time because I liked the product she was giving to me. I got it for me, my husband, and my girls. So we
Mhm.
got the products from her, which is IUL specifically. And from that point, I was recruited. She kind of sold me on the vision. And it's like, I know you can make a lot of money and help a lot of people, right? But it's like, the intention maybe behind it or maybe just how they had their structure going it was based on recruiting and obviously I didn't make a lot of money starting with them. It was cool. I had a lot of product knowledge, but I had no understanding on like sales, like what to say to the specific types of people, like final expense versus IULs versus mortgage protection. Like everything was just all in one, and I was just really just learning about like the IUL side to it, which was the product that we got, but I didn't make any money. Yeah, basically.
Dang. Okay, so now I need to know when did things start picking up before we get into the next part?
Okay.
Like
So
what
yeah, so I started to look for ways to, because I could, on social media, everyone is always talking about how they're making a lot of money. And it's like, obviously, I want to be a solution to someone's, issue and to a family, but I also want to profit. I want to make some money. Like that's,
Right.
what I mean? So
100%.
I actually I found you. I think I saw videos of like how, and I obviously, honestly, I was very like not into buying leads. I was like, no, I'm not. I'm not doing this. I am not spending money on leads. So that was that. And but the more I got into it, I was like, wait, so it makes sense, to have an actual cash flow. You know what I mean? The
Mhm.
leads are cash flow. People who are actually vetted to speak to me, right? That want the product that I'm able to offer. But I had that understanding before I got to this new agency. So I ended up purchasing, I think it was like final expense leads because I was starting. This is my first time again starting after not doing it from 2021.
Okay.
So I started, right? And I got the effects leads and I did well, but it was really trial and error because hold on. I was still with this previous IMO and I
Okay.
bought the leads because I was like, okay, bet like I can purchase leads fine because I wasn't making any money. So I was like, okay, I'll invest in myself. And then I found out that my contract level was like 30%. So I was like, wow, but it's
Yeah.
fine, So that from that point, I was close. I think I closed like three when I first started, right? When I first purchased the your Vex leads. And then once I found out my contract level was low, I ended up looking for a different agency to see, like, I didn't know where to go, but I found this new agency and they were able to start me at 80%. But yeah, and then from that point, I had the structure, I had, the accountability piece, I had the scripts, I had just like everyone in there is making money. Like everyone in there is closing deals every day. So it's like, that's kind of my experience with everything going on. But definitely you guys are a blessing because I hear a lot of people that are struggling. Obviously, it has to do with skills, but I know that the main point is having people who are actually, wanting to talk to someone like me or wanting to really, receive a product. And I feel like you guys really do a good job in doing that.
Now, fast forward, we're at 80%. You're like, okay, cool. Walk me through when you got set up with the IUL, like what made you, because I think you had said something in the Discord, I think. I don't remember but I guess take me back to when you were like, I'm gonna
When,
try these text verified IUL leads, and then we're gonna get into like the actual sauce. But like what was that
yeah.
transition movement where you were like, yo, let me do this?
Well, because I just feel like I just hear it so much. You gotta pay to play. And I'm like, okay, bet. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's just go ahead. Let's buy these leads because it's 1,400. It's worth it, right? It's worth
Mhm.
it because of the type of people that you're bringing in that I'm able to, be in contact with. But did I answer your question?
Yeah, no, you did. I mean, you just pulled the trigger, basically.
Yeah.
Told them they
I was like,
told them
let's
they
go. Like, I don't want to waste time. I'm
Yeah.
here. And I'm also expecting. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
Okay.
it's like I have a
Okay.
baby. So it's
Okay.
like my goal, I'm really trying to just do well. Like I just want to
Yeah.
keep moving and, so yeah.
Yeah. No, 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 no. That's a blessing. I love your energy too. Shout out to Jesus. So for people that don't know that
Yeah, yeah.
we're big on the kingdom around here, is what I tell people.
Yeah.
So okay, now let's walk through your first pack. Let's talk about the leads here for a second. First and foremost, I want to talk about how are you starting these calls with clients? Can you give us, you don't need to like role play, but I'm a big like high level guy. Can you just walk us through your sales process? Like, we'll start with, are you doing one call closes or are you booking appointments?
I've done one call closes. That's with people who I feel like maybe have the time. But a lot of the times when I start, I'm always like, hey, Trey. Like I talk to them like I know who they are and they know
Hmm.
who I am and they're expecting my call. And that's
Hmm.
how I kind of get my foot in the door. It's more so it's like, hey, Trey, how it's Lucia. Lucia. I don't know if you heard of the NAPQ like
Yeah.
structure,
Yeah.
so it's
Yeah.
like just being, like, hey. But that's how I try. That's how I do it. I've been able to do that. So, yes.
Got you. Now, when do you decide whether you're going to do a one call close or you're going to book an appointment? Like, is it just like happenstance? Do you feel off of the client where they're at? What is your process
I
for
mean, I
deciding?
always I always try to do a one call close. Like my intention is always to close them right then and there. But if they really can't, or they can't stay on the phone, or they got to do something else, right? I then go ahead and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and book you in for an appointment at this day. But the goal is to always one call close them, like always.
Okay. Now I'm gonna give you a rebuttal from an agent who's buying leads. They say, listen, well, like, how do you do an illustration or how are you closing people with IULs on one call closes? They ask you that question. What is your response to that?
Well, how am I doing it? Well, I mean, first I get their why. Like why is it that they really are looking to get into something like this? And another part is, since I'm the professional, I'm here to also make it make sense for you. It's like, because a lot of the times when I get that rebuttal, before I get that, it's the price aspect. Hold on, the rebuttal from the agent.
Yeah, I'm saying like, if an agent's like, well, I always book appointments because I need to pull my computer up and I need to do an illustration, and you're saying you're doing a one call close because I'm assuming you're doing it on the phone, correct?
Yeah, I do it on the phone. Time. Okay. So I think I use this it's called Crackle, I think. Let me just be. It's called Crank Wheel. I give the individual the option to, if they want to if they want to see my screen, or if they just want to keep moving forward. Most of the time, because of the rapport that I built with them, they're like, no, let's just keep going. I don't have to see the screen. So it's like, you can do it if you use the system, the crank wheel system, where you can literally send them a text message and they can see your screen.
Right.
So that's really how I do it.
Yeah, I mean, I always tell people keep it simple. A lot of people try to overcomplicate the sale and they feel
Yeah.
like they have to do all this extra stuff. Do you find yourself selling more life insurance based IUL structured versus like true cash value accumulation? Like, what is when it comes to closing clients, how are you structuring these IULs or a lot of the closes that you've had
Yeah.
off?
So it just depends really on the needs of the individual. Like, I have some people who care more so for the death benefit and not so much for the cash accumulation. So based on like what they want and what they need, it's like that's I'm able to either structure it to where it's you maximize the cash value, or we just, maximize the death benefit in a sense. Because I
Yeah,
always let them know, like, if you want to maximize the cash value, and well, I don't want to just keep saying too much, because I want to think I'm talking about now how the reason why it's tax free and you're able to maximize, right, the money that's in the account, it's because we can lower the death benefit. Okay. And then you know what? Let's go to the next question.
right. No, 100%. I mean, at the end of the day, I think one of the things that people don't consider when they're running these leads is really just how to keep things as simple as possible. That's
Yeah.
really their biggest thing. For a new agent that's watching this, what do you feel like has allowed you to close a lot of deals? I've already kind of know the answer, but I want them to know. What do you feel like is allowing you to like close a lot of the leads that are coming through? Like, is it your personality? Is it the way that you're pitching the clients? Is it how much you're calling them? Like somebody's like, you have this secret sauce. What is your answer to an agent asking you how you're able to be successful off the leads?
I mean, I just really think it's like a mixture of things. Like, it's also how you see yourself, how you're able to walk in that knowing of who you are, and you work from a place of victory, not of lack, because there's so many people who just want to, like, okay, just get through I guess, the leads or whatever. But on top of that, you also want to make sure that you are controlling the conversation. And
Mm,
while controlling the conversation, you also want to have like a CRM that is able to, like, 'cause for me, the automations help a lot.
okay.
Like I have my own Go High Level CRM that I like built out, and it helps my people like be able to book appointments without me, having to be on the phone with them. So I just think it's a mixture. It's a mixture of knowing who you are, a mixture of like also skill, being able to, because like I know this. I don't know the script. I like to still read the script. It allows me to flow, but at the same time, it's like I actually understand what I'm talking about. So it's just a mixture of having like knowledge, knowing who you are, and also the CRM aspect to where you can have automations, have AI, talk to your people. And yeah, it's just, a mixture. So,
Yeah, I'm
oh,
happy
and
you brought.
also another thing is
Okay, go ahead.
having, qualified leads. Yeah, that's another
Yeah,
one.
yeah, 100%. That's mandatory for your follow-up process. Because I didn't even know you had a. So that's actually pretty cool. How are you working these leads? Is my next question. Like, when they come in, are you calling them immediately? Are you just letting the AI and the text messages go out? what's your strategy for getting in contact with these people?
Yeah, so as soon as they come into like my CRM, they get like a text message saying, "Hi, like I'm Lucia, the IUL state underwriter in your area." And yeah, I give them my calendar link. And then it just depends because like I'm a mommy, so it's like sometimes my schedule can vary. If they come in, right, like during the day, I'll call them. But like I'll always try to call them. I don't really have a set if I'm here, I'm gonna call you. That's
Right.
it. I try to not make it too complicated for me because there's so many other things I have to worry about. But yeah, I call them as soon as I get the lead, or if I'm not available, my automations are able to actually, be able to give them the opportunity to book a call with me. So,
Yeah, if you had to break that down for an agent, the reason I'm asking is we get a lot of people that ask us that run our leads, like, Trey, I can't get any of these people to pick up or they don't respond to me. And I mean, I try to have some sympathy, but my wife tells me I need to work on that. But I'm trying to be a little bit better about it. But it's a little hard for me because, there's always two options. Like if you don't have a CRM, then you need to call and work the leads. You need to manually text them. You need to FaceTime audio them. You need to do everything you can. If you do have a CRM, you can leverage that. Was there ever a time when you didn't have a CRM? And if so, how were you working leads then?
I mean, I would just call them on my phone, but either way, it's like whether you have a CRM or you don't, it's going to be harder without a CRM. But even me with the CRM, I still follow up with these people, even though they
Mhm.
don't answer. Like, I'm going to keep calling you. You requested this information. Like,
Right.
I'm here to be a solution for you. So it's like, I just keep going. I keep trying. I'm just not gonna, if you say no, I'm going to keep trying until you tell me why. And
Right.
then I get to that point to where it's if they are saying, okay, I'm not interested, I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm just calling to go ahead and close out your file. Is there any reason, why? Or I asked them what carrier they ended up going with. Yeah. So did I answer your question? I feel like I always go off on these tangents. It's hard.
Yeah, no, you're good. Tangents are good because agents just
Okay.
need to hear from people that are doing well. Like at the end of the day, that's what we want for them. Do you feel like do you feel like the conversations that you have with the clients, I get this a lot. You're gonna have a wide range of people. We tell people we're not running ads for like becoming your own bank. It's more like general life IUL, and then if the person, like you said, wants more death benefit, we go there. If they want more cash accumulation, then we go there. When you're calling and working the leads, have you noticed any like patterns of which one it's more of? Like, are you getting more clients that want that death benefit? Are you getting more clients that want the cash value? Is it like 50-50? Can you kind of walk me through in terms of what you're saying?
Honestly, it's really like a mixture. Like some
Right.
people want the retirement aspect, but I mean, just so I know, like, do you do the ads for retirement?
Yeah, we do retirement and then we just do standard IUL as well.
Okay, because I get a majority of they want to do like tax-free retirement, and
Mhm.
then just yeah, make sure if they want to leave more money for their family, or they don't. I don't really get the become your own bank aspect. I do say that though later on, but every
Okay.
time in the beginning of the intro, I'm like, okay, were you more so interested in the tax-free cash accumulation or the family protection? That's really the main thing just the two that I ask. And then from there, I just get them to talk to me a little bit more about that. But question, it's like I get to make sure, honestly. It's
Yeah, no, you're good. So you brought up something. Let's dive down those. Walk me through if somebody says I'm looking for the family plan, where do you take the conversation?
okay. So I really just follow the script if you don't mind if I can just do that. Do you mind?
Yeah, that's us.
Okay, because that's really what I do. It just helps me not have to think about it too much, but then I also add my flow to it. It's interesting.
You're good.
Okay, so once I asked them kind of what they looked into, I listened to their response, and then based on what they tell me, I kind of like throw it back at them, and I'm like, okay, that's interesting, and I'm like, maybe I'll do like a third party story where I'm like, oh, okay,
Mhm.
I spoke to my client or a family that I helped, or if they're a veteran, I'm like, my veterans, I spoke to one of my veterans before, and it was the same thing that you were talking about and things of that nature, and then
Right.
from that point, after I get their why and also figure out kind of like the pain points, like, okay, that's also when I ask them, do you have anything in place that's maybe already growing some kind of cash value or you have any kind of coverage already? Once I find that, I then go and I just kind of give them my credentials and let them know like who I am. I'm required by the state to give you my credentials. from that point.
What I'm understanding is when you're on the call with the client, you're giving them two options. Essentially, it's cash value or it's death benefit. Depending on which option they choose, you're taking them down a path. But before you get there, you're finding the why. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
But
Yeah.
I have like like knowledge already on like IULs, on the retirement, the tax free. So sometimes we just kind of talk about like the benefits of the IUL in general, you know? So it's like
Right.
I give them information, and I feel like when I do that, when I give them the knowledge that I have, it's like they're like, okay, they start to think about, you know, what they want also, but I also feel like they begin to trust me a little bit more, even before I give them the actual, you know, credentials or whatever.
Right.
Because it's like I have an understanding of, you know, the side of things. So it's like I think it's good also for the agent to know and really understand what they're selling to the families. So
Right. The biggest point that you talked about, and for those that are listening, that she does, and the reason why she's selling, just so everybody's super clear, I didn't bring it up earlier, but I'll make it clear. She's extremely personable. I can already tell based off of the way that she talks and her tonality. And second, she's educating the client. A lot of our people that they want a product push. So we call it product pushing versus problem pushing. Product pushing is I need to sell you an IUL. Problem pushing is I need to figure out what the problem is, diagnose it like a doctor, and then provide for you what you need. But also the thing that people don't realize is that IULs are not, yes, it's life insurance, but the common person does not know anything about it. So before you try to push a product with no information, they're going to give you an objection. When you educate them, it builds trust. And that's what she does, y'all. That's what she's saying. She's saying that I'm figuring out their why and then I'm educating them in that process. Then after I educate them and they have a general understanding, I'm taking them down one of the two paths and then I'm closing them. So she's closing at a higher clip, she's writing higher premium, and she has more deals because she's doing that versus just trying to go in and be like, well, you want an IUL. You can't treat it like a veteran or final expense because they don't know what an IUL is. You have to educate them first, and that builds the trust, right? You talked about mindset. Do you do anything like routine wise, mindset wise before you start your dial day? Like, is there, obviously, I know your mom, so you got a lot going on, but I'm just saying, like, from a day-to-day standpoint, are there any like hacks or tips that you could give agents to really help put them in that place to be able to be successful?
well, one thing that I do, that me and my husband do, is we always give back to the Lord. It can look different for everyone else, but it's like we always give our 10%. Like
Mhm.
it's not like done lightly. Like this is a real thing. Obviously, you want to keep our treasures, put them in the Lord, okay? Because He's the reason why we have this opportunity, the reason why that we're even able to, you know, help other families. So it's like that might be kind of like different for a lot of people, but it's really important for us to the profits that we get, we always give that 10% at least, you know, back to the Lord. That's just one of the main things that we know that has always sustained us, you know, sustained my husband. And because I want to say like I'm like this is my second month actually dialing and working in the insurance industry, and it's like I'm up there. I'm up
Yeah.
there in the agency, like I'm actually writing numbers, and I'm gonna always give it to the Lord. Like this is exact I'm do this is what I'm doing. I'm giving 10% back to the Lord, and I'm also knowing who I am. Okay, and I also have the knowledge and skills, and I'm patient and I follow up. So it's just a combination of things, but definitely give back to the Lord.
Now, I love that. First of all, I didn't know this was your second month. That's
Yeah,
fine.
my
That
second
that
month from like, because I remember I did it in 2021. I got licensed 2021, and then I stopped, and I got
Mhm.
back into the game, right? Well, not really the game, but I got back into the industry after I got recruited. Um, and I wasn't making any money, but then I was like figuring out ways. And I was like, no, I know I can be profitable in this. I know that I can. I just need the right system, the right tools. I need the right people that can help me, you know, get to that point that I know that I'm meant to be in. And now I'm
Mhm.
here.
What have you written so far since you started working with us? Like, how much have
Um,
you written or submitted, or what are your
So
numbers?
I've this month I've done an IP on the leaderboard. It says 15,000. 15,000, but I know it's more because I did I closed like two or three more policies I think before a few days ago before we got on this call. But yeah, I've done like 15,000, and a lot some of them. a few of them has been a lot of referrals that come from these people because again, I'm very like personable. I always make it a point like, hey, like I work specifically with families. Like this is not the last time you're going to hear from me. Okay. I'm going to always be here, with you. And that's also part of the reason why we always like to make sure we have emergency contacts on file to make sure that they know who I am. And if anything happens to you, I'll be their first point of contact to, just so that's also how I get referrals, by the way, you know,
Yeah.
get
No,
like,
that's fire. That's fire. I think, and that was the thing for me that got my attention. Like you work very methodically. So for those that don't know, like this is somebody that like she'll buy her leads, she'll work her leads. We won't hear from her for a little bit. She'll come back. So I'm like, but then if you look at her sheet and you look at her numbers, when my team came back to me, I was like, yo, she's crushing it relative to, some people just buy a ton of leads, which is fine.
wait, you have
Um,
to see my sheet?
yeah,
Sheet.
my team
No
has,
way.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
This one? Oh
yeah,
God.
yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Sure. Yeah, yeah. The team, they track all the data, So
Okay, I like that. All right.
yeah,
I
yeah. So
like
we track everything. We want to make sure, it's all good. But that was the biggest thing for me is making sure
yeah.
like when I see somebody working methodically and closing, 'cause at the end of the day, you could write a lot, but you could also like be very diligent in your work. And I can tell that's the type of person that you are. Because you're actually like
Yeah.
working a lot of leads. I don't know exactly what your contact rate is, but you get in contact with a lot of the people that you do have that come through too.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true. Yeah.
Which is not necessarily normal for a lot of agents, but it's also because they don't work leads. So that
I
was
just
my
follow up. I follow up with them. Like I literally closed this one lady who I was so happy to give her a policy because the agent before her gave her a guaranteed issue policy. And it was they had obviously a 2-year waiting period. And she was like telling me how this is what she has. And it was like a lot of money for her. And I'm like, Miss Tanita, I can
Hmm.
help you, Miss Tanita. And it was just funny because she would hang up on me, but I'm gonna keep trying. I'm gonna
Yeah.
call you, Miss Tanita, because I know you need this. And after, we talked about it, I let her know all the benefits that she has, no more 2-year waiting period. You actually have your cash value that you're growing. You have, the ability to have immediate coverage if you were to pass away the next day. She was just so grateful. And I was also so, so blessed to be able to be a blessing to her. She even said, like, thank you so much. Like, I know I'm hard to deal with. I'm like, amen. Like, I'm here for you, Miss Tanita. Like, I'm genuinely, like, I really care about my people. Like, I really do. So,
Well,
yeah.
no, I'm not even lying to you. Like, that's very evident. Like, I'm not even trying to be funny because I really wholeheartedly believe, even as I've been an agent myself for 4 years now, like, I know for a fact the key is like actually trying to help the people that you're buying
Yeah.
them. If you come in with your own agenda, you will make some sales, but you won't make nearly as many as you could if you actually were like trying to put the agent first. I mean, not the agent, the company.
Yeah. Right. Right.
So I think that's super valuable. Is there anything that you want to leave with the people about us at Lead Lab? Right? Matter of fact, we didn't talk about that. So how has your experience been with us? We talked about the leads. You're doing well. You're working your leads methodically, but how do you feel about Agent Lead Lab? How do you what are your thoughts? Like, let's say I'm a random agent and I'm watching this and I'm like, I don't know, like I don't know if I should work with them. Like, what is your response to them and how's your experience been?
Yeah, I honestly, I love y'all. Like, y'all are really amazing because, like, I feel so happy to be able to have like purchase from you guys as I'm starting out because I feel like I've heard other individuals talk about how, they've purchased leads and it's like it doesn't work. But I mean, I just feel blessed to like actually be in contact with someone who actually I feel like you put a lot of work into what you do. And that's why we have like qualified leads that we can work. I just think it's worth it. It's worth it for me. It's worth it. I know that I had some individuals tell me like, oh, it might be a little too expensive. And I'm like, well, honey, it's worth it. Just get you your first pack, work it, actually work it, and you'll see. So it's like it's worth it. That's all I'm gonna say. Like just try it. Like, come on.
Yeah, nah, I've been
For
trying to tell them that.
real.
You
Yeah,
you literally won't know until you try at the end of the day, and I think
exactly.
people don't understand that. But
And you gotta bet
um,
on yourself. Like some people are scared to really invest in themselves. Like just do it. And that's
mhm,
also where the mindset comes in. It's like, do you know who you are? 'Cause if you
right,
do, you would know that it'd work out. So that's
yeah,
just me.
100%. Is there anything else that you want to leave the people with, like last? you know, feedback, things that people can expect working with us, etc. Is there anything that you wanna leave?
Well, you guys are always, I guess, responsive. Every time I have a question, you guys are always there to like, answer my questions or what else? You guys are just really nice to work with. Even with how much you guys have grown, I feel like, I've seen you guys grow, because I have been like watching you guys before I even got any kind of leads. And I just, yeah, yeah, I
That's pretty
have.
cool.
Well,
Cool.
that's kind of how I am too. Before I even pulled the trigger, I was like just kind of watching you guys and it just seemed y'all seemed cool, and then I finally got to meet y'all. I was telling my husband, I was like, love, because I'm always coming to him with like, things that I see online. And I'm like, this is a great idea. You know what I mean? And it's like sometimes he's like, you're always getting sold, my love. I'm like, well, it's because he works in timeshare. You don't have to put this, but he works in timeshare, so he's in sales. That's also, I feel like, part of the grace that I feel like I have. It's this man can sell for real. So it's like he thinks that everything I'm talking about can be a sale sometimes, whatever. But anyways, it worked out for Agent Lead Labs because you guys actually are exactly what you guys say that you are. So yeah.
Well, we appreciate it. Shout out to the husband for sure too.
Yes.
Well, we appreciate you hopping on. Thank you for hopping on and giving the people some sauce. And yeah, for everybody that watched, if you all enjoyed this, as always, please make sure that you get in contact with us or your rep, whoever sent this to you, if you are watching it. And if you have questions, just let them know. That you all have a blessed day. Appreciate you.
Amen.